I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Her candidacy is considered a long shot. Zephyr Teachout, an associate professor at Fordham Law School, is in the midst of a political campaign to try to defeat incumbent Andrew Cuomo in the upcoming Democratic gubernatorial primary. And today, Teachout and Lieutenant Governor candidate Tim Wu brought their campaign to an Orange County political hotspot, the Valley View Nursing Home. Teachout told her audience there that Cuomo has become the master of a broken system and servant to his political donors while pushing the privatization of public health facilities like Valley View. And Teachout claims there's a connection to be made between the push to privatize Valley View and the governor's move to halt the work of the state's anti-corruption Moreland Commission.
I can tell you that right here you have ties to, in fact, the Moreland Commission. That the law firm Harris Beach that has been pushing privatization here and that has close ties to Steve Newhouse, that law firm is not only a donor to Andrew Cuomo, but was central in the effort to try to keep the Moreland Commission from doing its work. Harris Beach, and you have to name names. You know, whistleblowing tour, we're naming names. So today, in the face of Andrew Cuomo's silence on the Moreland Commission, silence on Valley View, silence on whether or not he will debate me, we are blowing our whistles loudly to say the reason that there is a push to privatize Valley View is not because it's in the interests of all of us, but because the privatization serves the corrupt old boys network in Albany, and we are breaking that open.
Valley View was the latest stop in what Teachout is calling her 3-day, 18-stop whistleblower tour, designed to make her more known to Democrat voters before primary day arrives September 9th. In Ulster County, a Stone Ridge man was killed last evening when the bicycle he was riding was struck from behind by a car on Lucas Turnpike in the town of Rochester. State police say 63-year-old Peter Hales suffered massive internal injuries and was pronounced dead after being rushed to Ellenville Regional Hospital. The driver of the car, 30-year-old Philip Ashby Jr. of Accord, has not been charged. The accident occurred at around 6 p.m. and investigators say his vision was impaired by sun glare. This fire back on August 18th destroyed a barn and $40,000 worth of hay at the Hosking Farm in the town of Mount Hope. And since then, members of the community have rallied to the family's support, according to farm owner Mike Hosking, who says they've been overwhelmed by the outpouring of offers to help. A webpage drive has brought in nearly $15,000, and Hosking plans to hold a barn raising in the weeks ahead, and a number of people have volunteered to assist. Reporter Gatel Evangelist has more on the response to the Mount Hope fire here at Record Online and in an upcoming edition of the Times-Herald Record. A Port Jervis man's facing felony weapons possession charge following an incident that began outside an abandoned residence on Spring Street in Monticello. Village police say 32-year-old Joseph Flood and 33-year-old Margaret Flood of Port Jervis were spotted outside the house with Joseph Flood holding a rifle. The pair ran off but were later taken into custody. Police say Joseph Flood struggled with officers and had to be tasered. And they also say a check of the .22 caliber rifle he had determined that the serial number had been purposely defaced. Joseph Flood was charged with felony weapons possession, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental administration. Monticello police say Flood has a prior felony conviction in Orange County, barring him from possessing any firearm. Margaret Flood was charged with misdemeanor resisting arrest and a violation for trespass. A Westchester County Police Marine unit was in the right place at the right time yesterday afternoon. Officers were able to rescue a 16-year-old girl who had jumped off the Bear Mountain Bridge. The police boat had been towing a loose boat in that area when it got the call of the bridge jumper. The girl, who lives in Mohegan Lake, was found floating face up in the Hudson after making the 153-foot plunge. She was being treated for broken bones and other injuries at Westchester Medical Center. Investigators are trying to figure out what touched off the three-alarm blaze that destroyed a single-family house in the town of Monroe yesterday afternoon. Firemen responding to the residents on Seven Springs Road reported the structure fully engulfed in flames when they got there. The man who lived there was not home at the time. About 60 firefighters from more than 10 fire departments were on the scene for around 6 hours. The clock has run out on a number of area school districts that were hoping to start up Governor Andrew Cuomo's new full-day universal pre-kindergarten program. 8 districts and agencies in the Hudson Valley got the news last week that they had been approved. Others have struggled with the time frame. The Newburgh and Valley Central districts will initially offer half-day pre-K programs when school starts next week. Both will delay their full-day programs for about a month, so they'll have more time to prepare. Onteora is one district that will start a universal pre-K program in time at their 4 area daycare centers, according to District Superintendent Phyllis McGill.
We certainly could have used more time to write the grant, but we did write the grant. We certainly could have used more notice so that we could pull everything together. We've had a week to pull everything together to make sure that 20 children who are underserved or unserved were going to be provided with a program. Transportation is not an issue. It will require some shuttling and some individual figuring out the routes because we are a district of 292 square miles. But we do have a plan in place to make sure that whoever needs transportation will receive transportation.
In Newburgh, so many families turned out to register their 4-year-olds on Tuesday that some had to be turned away and asked to return today. The Newburgh district is expecting a $2.8 million state funding grant for its new program. That would be the largest grant to be awarded outside of New York City. 12-year-old Simone Evans of Wurtsboro started her college career at SUNY Ulster this week. Yes, you heard right. She's 12 years old, and yes, she's now taking college courses. Piano class was Tuesday. That's Beethoven's Sonata number 20 you were hearing in the background. Simone has been homeschooled since leaving elementary school, and she breezed through the requirements for the rest of grade school and high school, winning academic honors from Duke University and Johns Hopkins along the way. Now she's the youngest student in SUNY Ulster's music program, but her full-time course load will also include online courses in algebra and trigonometry. And even though she's a whiz at the piano, Simone's parents say she'll ultimately want to study medicine or genetics. And police in Saugerties have filed criminal charges against a woman who used a doggy door to get into an Ulster Avenue residence, only to have the dog inside the house attack her. Police say it happened Monday afternoon when they got a call for an unwanted person at the residence. According to police, 52-year-old Janet Hackett of Saugerties had climbed through the pet door, and once inside, the homeowner's dog bit her on the arm and hand. Hackett suffered multiple puncture wounds and ran out to the street, where she was met by police. After being treated at Kingston Hospital, Hackett was charged with misdemeanor criminal trespass. She was also charged with unlawful possession of marijuana, which was found in her backpack. We'll finish out the week with some nice late August weather. It'll be partly sunny, not as hot and humid on Thursday, with temperatures topping out around 80 degrees. Pretty much the same story for Friday, with the highs again at or near 80 degrees under a partly sunny sky. You'll get caught up on what is happening when you pick up a copy of the Times-Herald Record, and keep clicking here at Record Online for news whenever and wherever it breaks. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.